Women have a unique biological art. I often like to say that the modern world is the perfect playing field for a woman. That's because it's a lot more emotion and language based. The world in history was a lot rougher. It was quite straightforward. Things could be sorted out through strength or social standing. The boundaries were clear. Men could duel for their honor, fight to the death, or lose their stand. The world of words and diplomacy is a more subtle one. It's based on a lot of visual cues and tiny motions. It's psychological at its core. That's why women excel at it, because they became adept at using it a long time ago. Sure, men are strong, and we can throw brute force at just about anything, but not everything requires brute strength. Power is not accepted everywhere. That's why scheming and plans were a favorite pastime of the rich and the nobles. It's a pastime you can indulge in if you are comforted and living a luxurious, safe life. If you fear no immediate danger of conflict or physical confrontation anytime soon. You see what I mean? In a way, the world is a lot more like that. Big-time decisions are no longer taken through conflict or war. In fact, they are made over a table through power talk. A game of chess conducted through words. Even men got very good at it as time went by. We developed a psychological expertise at making speeches, riling up men, but we also got good at making plans and making decisions. Unfortunately, our domain doesn't extend much. Females have a pretty big head start to the emotional game. In fact, females have been gossiping, scheming, and playing mind tricks a long time ago. Some evidence suggests women did that during hunter-gatherer societies as well. That's why women are never the bad guys in any story. That's why women are the hardest to nail down in the modern world. Even research shows that juries are less likely to sentence a female prisoner. People feel more empathetic if the person suffering is a female. Females enjoy greater relief from authority and are allowed a lot more mistakes and blunders than the average male. In most harassment and misdemeanor cases, women are always the good guys. Even when they are not, it takes a truckload of proof to convince otherwise. Even then, the base instincts of most people refuse to acknowledge the female as the perpetrator. This happens because of one reason and one reason only. Women are experts at shaping the narrative and posing themselves as the victim. They've had years of practice with it. A woman will always be able to twist the truth and throw emotion in it so well, the listeners become convinced she is the victim. A woman will never be the bad guy in any story. She is never going to be the one to blame for the situation. It doesn't matter if she got someone fired or got someone jailed. It doesn't matter if she slapped a man in open public or touched a man inappropriately. The rules are relaxed for her. People just want to make exceptions for her, all because she happened to be a woman. What's the biggest example I can give here? I know Will Smith. You all saw how Smith got absolutely wrecked by his wife, who kept cheating on him right under his nose. She kept it on for a long time, and then had the audacity to actually come in and talk about it in front of the entire public. All throughout the interview, she talks about how she wanted to help him. She throws in all these big words, trying to lead the narrative, and suddenly everyone seems to have forgiven her. I'll tell you, no man would have ever managed to come out unscathed from that conversation. Had Will Smith cheated on Jada, things would have been a lot different. You know how women absolutely lose themselves when they find out you cheated? They can't bear that thought. They don't even think about loyalty at that point. It's just a shock to their egos. So yeah, if Will Smith was the one who had cheated, pop media would be on his case so hard. Yet, it didn't happen. People just forgot about it. They just ignored the entire thing like it didn't happen. Like Jada didn't just sit there and try to wrap her infidelity in those sweet words and excuses. In fact, she twisted the narrative so well, people forgot about Jada altogether and made a laughing stock out of Will. His wife, Jada, cheated on her and manipulated the entire world so badly, they turned Will Smith into a meme. Even now, you'll see this meme around, and you won't even think much about it. Then you realize it's really no laughing matter. It's a man who's absolutely devastated that his wife cheated on her, and he's a joke to the entire world now. Tell me what happened to Jada's reputation after that. I don't see anything wrong. She's still up and about. People have just forgotten about her altogether. That's just it, brothers. No matter how bad things seem, a woman is never the bad guy. She is always the victim. It's very easy for her to become that. They have a natural talent for that. Just hijack the entire process with a couple tears and sub-stories and make everyone forget what a piece of absolute garbage you are. It even happened with Amber Heard. Not only did it take years for Johnny Depp to regain his reputation, I swear I still see people saying they were both wrong. Even with all this proof, they're still reluctant to accept the truth altogether and would rather perpetrate a compromise. People just seem to forget a woman's shortcomings and her infidelity. Ask everyone, what gender do you think cheats the most? Everyone would say men, but it's actually women. What gender do you think enjoys the most privileged jobs? It's also women. Sure, there are a lot of men in high-rise positions, but there are a gigantic amount of men working in deadbeat jobs in some barren land. Yet, it seems like women are the gender who suffers the most in the world. You have the gender out there who's the most privileged, the better one financially, the ones with more college degrees and housing conditions, and yet women's rights are still a huge thing. I just need to scroll social media for 5 minutes and women will seem like the most suffering gender in the entire world. You know I'm right when even the legal laws are so openly biased when it comes to men. Anyone with a base sense of logic and fairness can see that it's wrong. Women just jumping ship and taking off a big chunk of the cake with them is just wrong. Women getting custody and child support that they didn't earn is wrong. And yet society says nothing now. They said nothing when they were passed. They say nothing when they are implemented, and some poor guy's life is absolutely ruined. They just cheer the woman, yelling, "You go girl," and pat her on the back for acting so bravely. Back when things were normal, and the world wasn't all psychological, things were better. There were standards and practices. Now, all of it is gone. Everything is defined by what's written in the Constitution. So women misuse those laws and manipulate men as much as they can. Since the Constitution has no laws against cheating, lying and deceiving women do it to the fullest. They'll flirt with multiple guys, jump ship in the middle of a relationship, spend years with a guy and cheat on him, and ruin marriages. And yet, they'll come out unscathed, never the bad guy, always a victim of her surroundings, always the poor girl who got stuck in a bad situation. Man, it's an absolute joke. I would call it dystopian if it didn't feel so dramatic. What can you even do when the cards are against you this bad? A world where your base state as a man is a bad guy. Where do you even start your side of the story if 1,000 women right activists are shouting at you and calling you a misogynist? It's quite the crazy world we live in now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.